Hello and welcome friends. Welcome back to my channel once again. This is a video tutorial regarding genetics and evolution. Basically this is genetics only. Evolution will be later on. We will be giving you the evolution notes later on in our next video. So first let us consider the experiment of Avery, MacLeod and McCarthy. Now they had taken the heat-killed S strain, S means smooth strain of the bacteria Streptococcus pneumoniae from the experimental setup of Frederick Griffith, who had done an experimentation on transformation of bacteria. Then this heat-killed Streptococcus was homogenized. Later on, the homogenate was filtered and the extract was obtained. After obtaining the extract was treated with three enzymes: DNase, RNase and protease. We all know that DNase can denature the DNA, RNase can denature RNA, protease can denature proteins. In this experiment, DNase destroyed the transforming principle in the Streptococcus. RNase and protease did not have any effect on it. Hence, it proved that the transforming principle of Griffith's experiment was DNA. This was our aim of the experiment. Next question is, what do you mean by degeneration of genetic codon? The coding of one amino acid by more than one codon is called degeneracy of codon. As for example, we know that arginine is an amino acid that is coded by 6 different types of codons, 6 triplets: CGU, CGC, CGA, CGG, AGA and AGG. All these amino acids code for only single amino acid, that is arginine. Next question is, what do you mean when you say codes are unambiguous? This is just the opposite. Here it means that one codon will only code for one amino acid. Here we had seen that one amino acid can be coded by more than one codon. But in this case, in case of unambiguous or unambiguity, the codon, only one codon will code for one amino acid, as UUG always codes for leucine, not for any other amino acids. Next question is, why do segmentations occur in eukaryotic genes? Means after formation of RNA, why does segmentation occur? It occurs because coding part is splitted by many unusual sequences. Such sequences get transcribed into RNA but are not translated into proteins. Why is it so? This part you have to know. These parts that are not translated into proteins are called introns. The introns must have to be removed from RNA in order to form a complete mRNA. Which organism did Biddle and Tatum use for his one gene, one polypeptide hypothesis? That is a pink bread mold called Neurospora crassa. Bread mold, MOULD, Neurospora crassa. To solve pedigree problems. Now this is a pedigree problem given to you. This is also another pedigree given to you. We have to know certain characters of the pedigree problems. As for example, for autosomal dominant, if the disease is autosomal dominant, you have to remember few things. The character is, that character means that dominant character have to be present in all generations, where at least one member must be affected. Here we don't see all generations are affected, but here you can see this is affected, this is affected, this is affected. Means at least one person, at least one individual must have to be affected in each generation. Affected parents. Next is affected parents may be able to produce unaffected children. If there are affected parents, they may be able to produce unaffected children. Over here, affected parent, unaffected children, like this. An example of this kind is Huntington's disease. Coming to the next part, that is autosomal recessive. In case of autosomal recessive, this is the case, these two. In case of autosomal recessive, you have to remember few characteristics just like autosomal dominant. The characters will skip in any of the generation. Here, this generation is affected, but this generation children are unaffected. This is an outsider who had married this, but these are the generations, the children of this next generation. Again in the third generation, this one is affected. So this generation one is affected, this generation nobody is affected, this generation again affected. Here also we see the same thing, same scenario. This is unaffected, this is affected, again the next generation is unaffected. So characters will skip the generations. Next is unaffected parents may produce affected children. These are unaffected parents, but they have produced affected children, one or more. And then another thing is autosomal father can give disease, can pass on this disease to the son, not to the daughter. Autosomal father can pass on the disease to son. As for example, cystic fibrosis is one such disease. This is father, it passes on its disease to the son, may pass on the disease to the son. Then coming to X-linked dominant. In case of X-linked dominant, you can see the pedigree over here. The affected father will produce affected daughter. That is crisscross, means father to daughter. And affected father never pass on the disease to the son. Never to the son. The father never passes to the son, and here we have seen that father can give the disease to the son, can give, may or may not. But in sex-linked or X-linked case, the father never passes on the disease to the son. For example, vitamin D resistant rickets. Next is X-linked recessive. Here you can see these are the two pedigrees given. This is more common in males because of males have only one X chromosome. The females have two X chromosomes. So it is rare in females but very common in males. And here also you have to remember the father passes on the disease to the daughter and the mother passes on the disease to either the son or the daughter. Here there is another pedigree for autosomal dominant case. In case of autosomal dominant, what did we see? So remember those characters and you can see this pedigree. Coming to the next question. Next question is about Hershey and Chase experiment. Briefly describe Hershey and Chase experiment. They wanted to prove that DNA is the genetic material. They grew bacteriophages on a medium containing radioactive phosphorus 32B and some others on radioactive sulfur S35. These are the experimental setup shown over here. This is a medium containing radioactive phosphorus and this is a medium containing radioactive sulfur. This is the radioactive DNA. If they are grown in radioactive phosphorus, they get radioactive DNA because DNA contains phosphorus but protein coat does not contain phosphorus. This is the protein coat. It does not contain phosphorus. But in this case you see here the capsid, which is made up of protein, it becomes radioactive since it is grown in radioactive sulfur. Because DNA does not contain sulfur, whereas protein coat contains sulfur. Okay. What was their observation? The observation after infection of bacteria. What was seen? The bacteria infected with phages having radioactive capsid, this one, did not show any fluorescence. That means protein does not pass on to the next generation. But in this case, bacteria infected with phages having radioactive DNA showed fluorescence, which means that DNA has been passed on to the next generation. Thus, it proves that DNA is the genetic material. So, our next video will be completely on this topic itself, means the genetics as well as evolution. Get ready, within a day or two, it may be posted for you. Allow me to post more and more such videos so that I can help you guys. Just share and subscribe my channel. Thanks a lot.